butchers. Talk to your butcher. Getting it hung. 21 days is a really good time to get your meat hung. That means it's been hung in an environment where it gets more tender, juicy and tasty.
When you buy a sirloin steak, make sure it's been aged for 21 days minimum. That gets rid of the excess water and keeps it full of flavour. Look for the nice marbling of fat running through it. Don't be put off by that. That keeps the steak nice and moist. The outside fat, well, that's quite sort of rich and creamy looking. As the steak's cooking, that melts, imparts flavour, and the whole thing becomes more and more juicy.
These pans have been heating up for 5 minutes, right? And all I do is season the steak here with sea salt, like that. Pepper, steaks just love pepper, so you can be fairly generous. A little olive oil, and then just use a pair of tongs just to smear that in like that, and then you can turn it over and do the same on the other side.
And the secret here is to make sure that we literally sear the steak and not boil it. Season it first. Beautifully done. Get some nice large grains of pepper, so you got a nice bit of heat. Mop up all that seasoning and sort of push in. The four most important parts is to make sure you take them out of the fridge 20 minutes before you actually start cooking them. Cooking a steak that's stone cold in the centre, you're going to have to overcook it on the outside.
Move it over to the pan and put it straight in, dry heat. That way your pan's not full of oil. Just lightly pat it down. Same on the other one. And the way I want to cook it is cook it evenly on each side. So about a minute each side, and just keep turning it and cooking it until it's cooked to your liking. So the sirloin's here about a minute. Look at that. You can see the fat dancing on the top. That's exactly what we're looking for. So another minute and a bit here. I'm just going to turn it over. What's quite good if you're using a griddle pan is put the fatty side here against the pan, because no one really in their right mind wants to eat sort of raw fat. You want it to be rendered, caramelised. Now, with a nice thick steak like this, there's a couple of things you can do for extra flavour. Get yourself some rosemary sticks, right? Get yourself a garlic clove, cut it in half, and get yourself just a little bit of butter. If you take a knob of butter like that off, what you can do is go with your garlic and rub it on the top like that. You might think that it won't make any difference, but it really will. And then get a piece of butter and just literally give it one little rub like that on the top. And then rosemary. Just pat it with rosemary. I know it looks like it wouldn't make any difference, but it really will. It's going to bring out the best and the most fragrant of the garlic and the rosemary.
My pan's just started smoking. Touch of oil in, roll that round, and then just lay the steaks away, always away from you, and let the pan do the work. That's the kind of noise you want to hear in the pan every time. That nice sear. Again, pair of tongs, turn it over very carefully. Literally 30 seconds in the pan, you can see the colour. Beautiful. That layer of fat on the back of the sirloin, you want to render that down as well. That's it there. So hit that into the pan. Use the pan to your advantage. Tilt the pan, let all that hot fat, olive oil run down the back, and it starts to sear the steak even better. You put a little bit of garlic in, nice little flavour of the steaks. Doesn't need to be peeled, just lightly crush and then that gives a really nice flavour to the steak. Turning every minute so you've got that nice even colour. And if you're turning your steaks every minute, it starts to cook evenly. A little bit of thyme. It's really nice to get that nice fragrant smell of thyme. And a touch more. And now I'm going to start off with my butter. Little knobs of butter. And this is where the steak starts to take on a completely different flavour. Tilt the pan, and then just baste the steaks. With that fried thyme, with that garlic. Nothing's burning, and that's why we started off with olive oil. Get the garlic and sort of brush the garlic over.